When I heard them the first time, I caught to my ears something like Prince of the 80s, a little bit of George Michael or Paul Young, mixed with the energy of punk rock.
Now it looks like the Beatles, number 4. Yeah.
But always with the melody on top.
I'm quite sure that my friends would love this kind of music, especially my girlfriend.
What do you think about this? I think it's great.
In Havana's heat, we're sneaking in the back street. In Havana's heat, we're sneaking in the back street.
For a city of 2.5 million people, it doesn't seem particularly crowded.
It's a lot bigger than many people think.
Yeah.
Women don't mind putting their underwear out on the rails. They try so much of their underwear.
This area is called Centro Havana. Like
Centro Havana.
Central Havana.
Yeah. No, that's just amazing. It just looks like
Yeah, so many details. So many details.
Oh, how the breeze is mellow, rolling round town in a beat-up Chevrolet, scraping my heels in alleys for meals. We're sneaking in the back street.
That's the amazing thing about the place, is that there is a romantic element into it. There's no doubt about it. It's one of the few romantic political things, I think, left. Manic Street preachers in Cuba are kind of been stubborn bastards over the last decades. There's just something different here, something tangible in the air, really. You know, it's kind of stood alone against the tide of the rest of the world and seems, so far, to still have that spirit, which is all symbolized by the stuff around you, you know what I mean? I'd probably like it a lot more if I just come over on my own and actually take it in rather than have to just, you know, use it as a backdrop to interviews and photo sessions.
Right, keep it tight, boys, and try to imagine these Herberts ain't here.
Sometimes you feel exploited as a person, but sometimes you feel that you're exploiting a place, and, you know, if I nip out on my own here in a couple of days, I'll be able to take it in a lot more. Then.
Watch the big smile, we don't need it.
Why is that?
The band have been accused of exploiting Cuba, you know, coming here in order to get a lot of press and publicity out of it. I can see that argument, but I don't think it's right. I think they're giving a lot more than they're taking. People are receiving it as a goodwill gesture.
Try to get rid of Castro. And they told the military people to prepare for the invasion of Cuba.
The Cuban Revolution has always had a kind of, you know, imaginative cachet, which they really like and really buy into, and they're very informed about it. They know about it too. And when I spoke to James the other day, and I was kind of saying to him, well, you know, there are human rights issues and stuff here, and he said, well, we know that, but we still kind of like the idea of Cuba and like what the revolution stood for, and don't like the way that it's been, you know, consistently squashed by America.
To halt and eliminate this clandestine, reckless, and provocative threat to world peace.
Last time I spent any time with them was in Thailand just before Richie went missing, sort of the following year. And they were much more separate then. They were much more separate. Richie was difficult for all of them to handle, and they all knew what was going on. And they seemed to sort of withdraw each of them into their own corners a little bit. Now they seem much more like a unit. They seem really, really comfortable and really happy, and I think they know they've made a very good album.
Ever since, like, you know, Richie disappeared, ever since after the Holy Bible, there'd been a massive pressure on us. We had to kind of like try and, like, you know, re-establish ourselves as a three-piece. You had to reconfigure everything. And we'd actually realized that that pressure since Richie had gone missing had just been massive. And that we actually hadn't gone into the studio without any of that pressure for 4 or 5 years. I think that was the best thing about doing this album. We just went into the studio and thought, we haven't got to prove anything to anybody. We've actually just got to actually sit down and let the songs guide us.
It's called Ocean Spray.